Well, trigger day today. So, yeah, back-to-back videos about triggers. Yeah, that's just the way life goes sometimes. What have we got here? Stoeger X20 XS20. So the right name will be put in the title. I just can't remember it at the moment. No, it's not my gun. So apologies if anybody gets overexcited about thinking I'm going to have one of these on the channel. I might. I'm going to do some pellet testing with it and see what it's like. But it actually belongs to a very good friend of mine. What are we doing? Well, the trigger on it is awful. Anybody who's shot one, yeah, you'll know. Trigger's terrible. But what can we do about it? Well, the trigger adjustment screw wound all the way in does nothing at all. Let's replace it with a longer one. I've already tried an M3x8. Didn't make enough difference, so I'm going to whop in an M3x10. Take you along. Now, unlike most guns, you can't actually adjust the trigger with the gun in the stock. You just can't get at the trigger screw. Bit of a pain. I suppose I could use little hex keys, but I'm bending in then and it's just a pain in the ass. Just easier for access to do it like this, so for me anyway. Stock screws out. Through the trigger guard for this one. By the way, I'm using an electrician's screwdriver, Phillips head. Virtually everything on guns seems to be Phillips, so I'm using a Phillips. Probably could get away with a posi on these, but I prefer to use Phillips because you've got a better bedding into the screw, less likely to slip out and chew it. Come on out you go. Oh, it's still in. There we go. Stock to one side. There we go. So there's the screw there. As standard on these, they have a the usual Phillips head little screw, which you have to use a smaller size of screwdriver for, this size. I swapped it out for hex. As I mentioned, M3x8 didn't do enough, so we're trying M3x10. I got this set. It's a set of computer screws apparently, but got M2, M2.5 and M3, so you're pretty well covering all bases. So M3x6, M3x8, here's my M3x10. Let's stick one of them in. I was quite surprised at it being M3, I have to say. Normal is M2.5, but quite a chunky little gun, so I guess it'd have a chunky little screw. Let's not go there, that brings back memories. Nice and tight. If necessary, I'll use a longer screw and put a lock washer on, as I've mentioned about before. But let's see what that gives us. One thing I will say about this gun, the scope on it, the turrets, they are just so easy. You have to knock your hand against it. Oops. Oh well. The jobs I've got to do on this gun is just cleaning it up. Basically, it's got a bit rusty. And I can take it out in the range and give it a test. the story here. Never do up the front screws until the back screw is in. I noticed this earlier. Oh, come on. There we go. Right, let's see if we have a bit more joy now. Come on, in you go. There we go. Never tighten up all 3 screws until they're all in. Okay. There we go. Whenever you've adjusted a trigger, always do a test cock first. Be very, very careful. Always make sure you have your hand firmly on the barrel. There, look at that. The screw's too long. Same as we had with the Gamma. You hear it engage, but it's releasing. So, moral of the story there is pop a spring washer on it, and I reckon it'll be okay. So, I'll dig out a spring washer. We'll get that sorted. I'll be back in a jiffy. Got my spring washer. Now I can already hear the comment section wailing and gnashing their teeth that I didn't use a hex key to take it out. Well, I mean, look. That's the access you got. Yeah, can you see now why I took it out? Because, I mean, look. This is going to take so long, and putting it back together so fiddly. You saw how quickly I took it out of the stock, how quickly I put it back in. Yeah, bored now, I'm taking it out of the stock. So with the magic of editing, we're back in the room. Here we go. I mean, yeah, do you see now why I did it? Huh? I can even take it out by hand. Cammy, there we go. M3 spring washer. On. I reckon this is going to be perfect now. See, the damn scope just adjusted again. It's a nice clear little optic, and the gun's got plenty of power, because a rat yesterday certainly didn't appreciate having a little dose of lead from it, but I'm not that impressed by, as I say, the optics not having a lock facility, or at least some dust covers. I love external turrets, but they've got to have a lock on them. That little spring there can catch sometimes when you're trying to put it through, so just gently persuade it to one side. That'll let you do what you need to do. Oh. There we go, see, got caught in the spring again. Okay, we are tight. Now, put it back in the stock, magic of editing. So, break it, and there we go, just clicked, and whoa, there we go. Yeah, screw's still too long. Isn't that incredible? Right, well the gun's back apart again. I'm going to stick with the M3x10. I'm going to put 2 lock washers on it. Same basically as we did with the Gamma, hey. Amazing that. And the lightning. Amazing. So that, I guess, gives it about an 8.5mm thread length, which will give an improvement over the old screw and an improvement over the M3x8. But it's not giving us a full 10mm because, as we saw, that didn't work. Right, put her back in the stock. The magic of editing, she's back together. So let's see what happens. Perfect. Yep, fully controlled. I can actually, I'm not going to move my hand, but I can take my hand away. She's not going to fly back. Yeah, that's absolutely fine now. So I'll close it back up. I will put a pellet in it before I fire it. I'm not going to dry fire it like some muppet. There we go. Right, got the gun pointing at the safe backstop. Let's see what the trigger does. I'll get used to that safety catch eventually. So, what have we got? Still got quite heavy first stage. There's the second stage. You can actually feel a very definite knock in the trigger. Oh wow, that's pretty good. I mean, that's really good. Yeah, I'm impressed by that. I'm impressed. Let's see how it translates down the range. That, sorry, is for another video for another day.